In the unforgiving wild, where survival often demands sacrifice, an unlikely bond was forged. A dying lion, a ranger haunted by his past, and a single moment of courage changed everything. This is the story of Aslan's and the extraordinary loyalty that defied nature itself. During an early morning patrol across the savannah, Ranger Keith drove his familiar Jeep along the dusty road, far from the ranger station. The usual peaceful landscape was suddenly disrupted when he spotted an unusual sight in the distance, a pale yellow patch standing out against the dry grass. As he drew closer, Keith was stunned to see a young male lion lying motionless on the ground. Though still youthful, the lion's mane was just thick enough to reveal his gender. However, what truly caught Keith's attention was the lion's gaunt, weakened body. Its ribs were clearly visible beneath its tangled fur, a stark sign of severe malnutrition. A mix of curiosity and concern welled up inside him as he cautiously brought the Jeep to a stop, scanning the surroundings. There were no signs of a struggle, nor any indication of a nearby pride. What had caused this once proud predator to become so emaciated and lost? After contacting the station to report the situation, Keith prepared to approach. Keith chose to approach the lion with caution. Instead of heading directly toward the animal, he first circled the surrounding area, carefully observing the scene. Nearby, he discovered the skeleton of a gazelle, the remains of an unfinished meal. Vultures still lingered, picking at the last scraps of meat, suggesting that the lion had been too weak to finish the hunt or defend its kill. Keith decided to help it. He carefully picked up a rib bone of the gazelle with some meat still attached, then slowly approached the lion lying down. As Keith got closer, another pride of lions unexpectedly emerged from the nearby bushes and began to approach him. They growled threateningly, their fierce eyes following Keith's every move. The pride, sensing the young lion's weakness, gave a final warning growl before moving on, leaving Keith alone with the motionless animal. The lion's golden eyes fluttered open, filled with wariness instead of ferocity. Once a fierce and powerful warrior, Aslan had been the pride's pride, swift, strong, and undefeated. Now he lay gaunt and broken, a mystery of what had brought him to this fall, inspiring pride in the pride. His roar echoed across the savannah, a declaration of power and dominance. But then a cruel fate descended, forever changing Aslan's life, filling the reader's heart with endless sorrow. As Aslan was bending down to drink cool water by the riverbank, a giant crocodile, a predator hidden beneath the murky water, suddenly lunged, its sharp teeth clamping down on his hind leg. Aslan, once a fierce warrior, was gravely wounded after a desperate battle with a crocodile, leaving him slow and unable to hunt. Unable to support the pride, he was cast out, forced to leave behind the only family he had ever known. Alone and in pain, Aslan struggled to survive, haunted by memories of his former glory. Each failed hunt deepened his despair, a silent echo of the powerful roar he once carried. Calling to the pride now echoed in a vast space, unanswered. Only the terrifying silence of the savannah surrounds the once literate. His body became increasingly gaunt. His fur was tangled and ragged, his ribs protruding prominently. In the grip of gnawing hunger, Aslan spotted a young gazelle innocently grazing by the riverbank. Despite his crippled leg, Aslan fought to survive, but failure and injury pushed him farther from the land he once knew. Loneliness and hunger consumed him, forcing him to scavenge for scraps while fending off hyenas. His body withered, his golden coat dulled, and hope faded with each passing day. In utter desperation, Aslan stumbled near a small village where Keith finally found him. He no longer had the strength to roar threateningly or fight for scraps, and in his dull golden eyes, only a plea remained, something never before seen in a wild lion. A once ruler now only seeking a bit of pity. Keith silently observed Aslan, a sense of doubt arising in his heart at the animal's strange behavior. Though a seasoned ranger, Keith had never seen a lion so broken, its weary eyes stirring a deep compassion within him. Haunted by his past as a former wildlife hunter, Keith saw in Aslan a chance to atone for old sins. Saving the wounded lion was a dangerous, risky choice, but one he could not turn away from. Despite the fear, Keith knew he had to try. Moreover, transporting such a large and wild animal was a complex issue. After consulting with his colleagues, Keith decided that Aslan needed to be brought to the ranger station for initial medical care before he could be moved to a safer sanctuary. After several weeks of medical care, the lion's health stabilized, and he was able to move and hunt on his own. Since flying wasn't safe for Aslan, Keith and his team transported him by truck in a specially designed cage, ensuring his comfort and safety. Luring him inside took patience and teamwork, using bait and cautious movements. Throughout the long, bumpy journey, Aslan remained wary but calm, sensing these humans meant no harm. At each stop, Keith checked on him, speaking softly, believing that kindness needed no translation. The patience, caution, and compassion of Keith and his colleagues were Aslan's only hope on this challenging journey. Finally, after a long, intense journey, the truck stopped at the gate of a vast sanctuary, a safe and fertile land where Aslan could find his true wildlife again. When the cage door opened, Aslan hesitated for a moment, as if still unable to believe the truth. He looked out at the world outside, breathing in the fresh air. Then with a powerful leap, he burst out of the cage, feeling the vast savanna breeze caress his ragged fur. A sense of relief filled the minds of Keith and the entire team of rangers who had devoted themselves to helping him. Aslan paused for a moment at the edge of the forest, turned his head towards Keith. His eyes seemingly expressed sincere gratitude. A strange connection between humans and animals. Then with a soft growl, as if saying goodbye, he disappeared into the vast space of nature, blending into the green of the trees, leaving in Keith's heart elation and a great hope that Aslan would find his strength and true freedom in his natural home. A few months after Aslan was returned to the wild, Keith and a group of rangers conducted a routine patrol in the nearby area, ensuring the safety of both wildlife and local residents. The late afternoon sunlight painted the tall grass a warm, brilliant color, creating a peaceful scene. Suddenly, a terrifying sound erupted, shaking the ground violently. A mature male rhinoceros with extreme ferocity unexpectedly charged out of the bushes. Its sharp horn, aimed straight at Keith, sowing terror, caught him off guard. Keith was thrown to the ground. A sharp pain was spreading throughout his body. The rhinoceros continued to charge the deadly horn just meters away. The moment of peril is imminent, seemingly unavoidable. Just then, a roar echoed across the savanna, shattering the suffocating tension. A powerful figure with familiar golden fur rushed in like a whirlwind. Aslan, the gaunt Mayan from before, had now fully recovered his strength. His body was muscular. His fur was thick and majestic. He bravely attacked the rhinoceros' sharp claws, tearing at the enemy's thick skin, an unexpected event that left everyone stunned. The rhinoceros suddenly attacked from behind, roared angrily, and turned to face Aslan. Two giants of the savannah engaged in a fierce battle of life and death. The pride of lions accompanying Aslan also quickly appeared, surrounding the rhinoceros, creating immense pressure that confused and disoriented it. After a fierce struggle, the rhinoceros was severely wounded and finally roared in defeat and fled deep into the forest. Aslan stood proudly in the middle of the savannah, panting, but with resolute eyes, turning his head towards Keith, growling softly, as if to ensure his benefactor was safe, an action that was moving to tears. Keith sat in stunned silence, struggling to grasp what had just unfolded. Aslan had returned, and not only returned, but saved his life. The gratitude and loyalty shown by the wild lion went far beyond anything Keith could have ever imagined, a powerful reminder that emotions can flourish even in the most unlikely places. In that moment, he realized that deep within the heart of every creature lies the capacity for profound emotion and the incredible ability to repay kindness in the most wondrous and unexpected ways. Aslan's moving story is not just a perilous journey of survival, but a profound lesson in kindness and redemption that stirs deep reflection in the reader's heart. It invites us to reconsider the relationship between humans and nature, reminding us that the natural world is not something to be conquered or exploited, but an inseparable part of ourselves, deserving of our respect, protection, and care. Keith's act of kindness toward Aslan had planted a powerful seed, and Aslan's unexpected return was the beautiful fruit of that compassion. Sometimes, even those who are lost and desperate can find their way back, guided by the memory of a simple act of mercy. Kindness, when given freely to any living being, has the power to sprout and blossom in extraordinary ways, forging unbreakable bonds between species and igniting hope for a more harmonious future between humans and the wild. The story of Aslan and Keith will be passed down through generations, a lasting reminder of the strength of compassion and the enduring wonder of the natural world. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.